What's up guys, I'm ExxotikGaming and welcome back to a brand new Pixel Gun 3D weapon review. The newest 11.4.0 update came out and this is my first review of many. As you all can tell from the title, today's review is on the Laser Spear, which was by far the most requested weapon for me to review. It is one of the coolest weapons, in my personal opinion, to ever be released into this game. So if you guys are hyped for this review, make sure to slam that like button, and if you leave a like right now, you will receive, believe it or not, a free superhuman ability. Teleportation, flying, invisibility, you name it, you got it. After leaving a like, just wait a week or two and the ability will be delivered right to your brain. Also, comment down below which weapon from the update you'd like to see me review next, because whatever weapon gets the most amount of comments in the comment section to this video will be the weapon that we review next. So with that being said, guys, I'm really excited to do this review, and let's get right into this. Going into the armory section first and looking at the stats of this mighty weapon here. Just by looking at the numbers, it looks like a pretty powerful weapon. Definitely in the upper end of the weapons in the special section. This weapon has a grade of uncommon, which is pretty commonly expected because this is a really cool weapon and I would expect a lot of people to have this weapon in their inventory. Now this weapon has a 21 efficiency, which puts it in the middle to upper end of the weapons in the special section. It has a 76 firing rate, which is not the fastest in the world, and that's probably my biggest complaint with this weapon. And it has a 1 capacity, but do not be fooled by that number. I still don't know why ReallySoft does that. You don't technically ever need to reload this weapon, so I guess that's the reason why ReallySoft puts it at a 1 capacity. And then this weapon has a 120 mobility, which is perfectly expected because it's kind of like a melee weapon that shoots out a laser instead of just doing the regular melee thing. Now this weapon also has the piercing shot ability, so that's another added bonus, and I mean, this is a really cool weapon, guys. Even if this is not the most powerful weapon in Pixel Gun 3D, I have to say it is arguably one of the coolest ones because, I mean, there's nothing like it. There's nothing like this where you have a melee that shoots out some cool spinning laser, as you guys can see right here. I mean, it is a very, very cool weapon. Now this weapon is a 2-shot headshot to a max armored player, and you guys will see it may get difficult at times, especially in some of these more chaotic matches, to get a lot of kills using this weapon because having it being a 2-shot headshot rather than the 1-shot headshots, you may be at a disadvantage at times when you're trying to hit enemy players. Some other complaints that I have is the really slow firing rate. Like I said before, you're going to be at a disadvantage if somebody has a faster firing weapon. Say they're using the gas launcher or something like that, or they're using the minigun pistol, and you're using this weapon, and they have that constant firing ability. Well, they're probably going to be at an advantage than you because you have to make sure that all of those shots count. If you miss one of your shots, like I'm doing right here, well, they're going to be at a pretty big advantage. I believe I got 1 shot on this guy, and then if I do 1 more, then I can maybe take him out, but you guys will see throughout this match here in Coliseum that this weapon is a 2-shot headshot to a max armored player. Now, you can maybe try to find some of those matches where there are some people that are some of the lower armored players, and maybe at times you'll actually be able to get some of those 1-shot headshots, but usually it's going to be a 2-shot headshot when you're using this weapon, so just expect that when you use this in those matches. Now, as you guys will see, this weapon has that really slow firing rates, and this weapon also has a travel time. And okay, wow, it's really lagging up a lot. I'm gonna go leave this match real quick and go into something else. Also, a lot of people did leave this server, but this weapon also has a very slow traveling time, and that might be a pretty big disadvantage in the matches that you go into. Say you go into something like Christmas dinner, or maybe some of those medium-ranged maps like Paradise Resort or something like that. It's going to be very difficult to try to use this weapon and actually get kills with it because it has such that slow firing rates paired with that really slow travel time. So you're going to have to keep this thing in Coliseum if you really want to get your best results using it. But if you can keep this thing in Coliseum, Pool Party, Silent School, then you're going to have a pretty good time using this weapon, as you guys saw in that match that I was just in before it really lagged up a storm and I had to go leave. Hopefully we're not going to have as much lag in this server. It's just because everybody's using the Ghost Lantern, and the Ghost is known for really lagging up a lot of people. Looks like a lot of people in this server really don't have that much armor. It may also be because because some of these people are lower level, and some of the lower level players may not have as much armor there. That's an added benefit of this more recent matchmaking update, where some of the different levels are going up against each other depending on their skill, so that's pretty cool. But, I mean, if you see this weapon here, guys, just look at how cool it is. I mean, I have to say it is one of the coolest looking weapons, and even, like I said, if it's not the most powerful weapon in Pixel Gun 3D, if you're really the type of person that is purely basing it off of the way the weapons look, and you just want to be the cool player of Pixel Gun 3D, say you're one of those people that have the nickname Cool Boy for some odd reason, well, this is probably the weapon that would fit you, because, I mean, it's a sword that shoots out a laser, and if that's not cool, I don't know what is. This is certainly a heck of a lot cooler looking than some of the other weapons from this update, like the Love Spell and the Casa Nova and stuff like that. Now, those are great weapons as well, but out of the weapons in this update, I'd have to say this is the coolest looking one. It's great, though, guys. I really do enjoy using this thing, and it's a lot of fun also, so if you're looking for a weapon that is really fun, this may be something to consider, because I just love seeing that little laser come right at the enemy player, and it's really satisfying. Like, I know satisfaction is the rage right now. I mean, you always see those videos on Instagram where it's like, try not to get satisfied challenge and stuff like that, and, well, with this is one of those things where it's really satisfying when you see that little laser thingy just going right into, like, the head of the enemy player and stuff like that. You felt like you did well when you get a kill like that. So, I mean, that's something to definitely consider when you're considering getting this weapon here. I mean, that's an ultra kill right there. Let's see if we can get a monster kill, maybe even. I'm not entirely sure if we can get a monster kill, but, I mean, if you're in Coliseum, guys, this is the best chance to get a monster kill when using this weapon, because everybody's super close range, you minimize the effect of that travel time, and you can get a lot of kills really, really fast using this weapon here, guys. Now, this is one of those weapons where the second you start using it, you're probably not going to get the greatest gameplay in the world. You have to kind of learn how this weapon works. You have to learn how the enemy players of the match work. Probably, when you join a match, within the first minute or so, you're not going to really do all that well. But then after you realize how the players play, then you can actually adjust how you use this weapon and then get the best gameplay possible. Now, this is a Coliseum match that is a little bit more rare than some of the others. Not too many people are jumping around all over the place. There's that guy over there, and then there's some other people, but overwhelmingly majority of the time, the people that are in this match really aren't jumping up that much, and therefore I'm able to get a lot more headshots, and I'm able to get better gameplay because of that. Now, if I'm in a different type of Coliseum match where there are some people that are using more so of the Ghost Lantern, and they're jumping all over the place, you're going to have to counteract that by using this weapon very much so differently. You're going to have to try to learn how the travel time works, because people will be able to jump and use that little blasting effect of certain weapons to their full advantage and be able to blast away from the laser before it reaches them. So, you see somebody across the map, and they're moving to their left, and you see that person moving in the direction of my crosshair. Then you would shoot over here, and that way, the laser would actually reach them before they ended up getting there, and that way, you'll be able to end up getting that surprise kill on them, and they'll never even see that laser coming. Now, if you're in an extremely long-range map, say you're in something like, well, I would have said D-Day, but D-Day was removed, but say you're in something like Heaven Garden, or Parkour City, or something like that, where it is a very, very long-range map, you're probably not going to do well in general, even if you do know how the travel times works, because it's going to be really difficult to take people out at range using this weapon, because, I mean, as you guys can see, that's a long travel time, and like with that guy that was over there, he easily got out of the line of fire before this thing even reached him. He didn't actually see it, so I could have probably hit him a second time or a third time, but it gets difficult at range. So keep this thing in close range. Coliseum, Silent School, Pool Party. If Infected Prison was still in the game, Infected Prison would have probably been one of the better maps for this weapon, and I mean, you're going to get some great gameplay when you use this weapon. Is it the greatest gameplay out of weapons in the special section? No. There are weapons in the special section which are better than this one, but for this update, this is a very solid gun. Not a gun. I can't really say this is a gun. It's like a shooting spear thing. What would you even call this thing? I'm just going to say it's a weapon just to be safe, but I don't know what you would call this thing, because it's not a melee weapon. It's not really a sword. It's its own unique thing, but out of the weapons of this update, this is very solid. Very happy about this. Definitely something I'll be using a lot off camera, and it is a ton of fun when using. It's a great thing, guys, and I would definitely consider getting this thing if you did have the necessary gems available. Is it a necessary weapon? No, it's something you can live without. You don't have to get this thing in order to be a successful player in Pixel Gun 3D. You'd be perfectly fine if we went into the special section right now. You'd be perfectly fine if you had something like the electromagnetic cannon, if you had the acid cannon, if you had the nail minigun or the trapper, or other weapons like that. You could be perfectly fine. If you're very tight on gems and coins, and you have the laser bouncer, you're probably not going to need the laser spear. But if you wanted something that's just a lot different, if you wanted something that's really fun when using, then, I mean, heck, go right ahead and get this thing, because it still is a very solid weapon, and it will treat you with some very, very good gameplay when you go use it. I mean, this is definitely something where you probably shouldn't use it the entire length of a match. I'm using it for the sake of this review, but I feel like this is one of those weapons where you'll have this paired up with something else. I mean, there are maps where it does get to be some pretty long range, but there are also some pretty close range occurrences, like Paradise Resort is the perfect example of that. Paradise Resort can have some pretty close range encounters, but a lot of the time you're going to be more at medium range, so take out your Secret Forces rifle or your Hellraiser or something like that. Use that a majority of the time, and then maybe you spawn inside the lighthouse or some of the buildings and stuff like that, and that's when you take the laser spear out, and that way you can finish off somebody a lot quicker than you would with say, the Secret Forces rifle. But overall, guys, great weapon. If I was to rate this thing between 1 and 10, I'd probably give this thing like a 7.5 or an 8 or something like that. In terms of the way it looks and how cool and how unique this weapon is. Oh, this thing is getting a solid 10 because there's nothing like it in Pixel Gun 3D. There never has been anything like it in Pixel Gun 3D, and I mean, if Really Soft designed this themselves, this is freaking awesome. Like I said before, I am almost positive this thing is probably designed off of something else from a different video game, but hey, that's alright. I mean, Really Soft probably has changed some things, and it's not an exact replica, and most of the time when a video game creates weapons in them, they don't, like, copyright a weapon anyway, so I mean, if a video game creator wanted to, they could just, like, rework the weapon and be perfectly fine with it. Obviously, if you had another type of video game like this, like Pixel Gun 3D, and then they made something like the Prototype V2 or something like that, and it was an entirely different video game, yeah, there may be some copyright problems there, but with this, I don't really think there is, and it's just a lot of fun when using. So, yeah, guys, I don't really have much else I need to say about this laser spear. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed the gameplay here. Coliseum is the best map for this weapon by far. It is a very, very good map for this weapon. You can use this thing in Silent School, but like I've said before in some of my past reviews, I have found that a lot more people use the Ghost Lantern and some of those one-shot kill weapons in Silent School, so having a two-shot weapon like this, you're going to be at a disadvantage, especially with that travel time, and in Coliseum, so many people already have damage dealt to them that a lot of the time it's going to end up being a one-shot kill anyways. I mean, as you guys have seen throughout this video, probably at least half of the times I've encountered people, I've gotten one-shot kills on them. The other half, obviously, two-shot, but yeah, I mean, a lot of the time you are going to get one-shot kills with this weapon just because the people do already have a lot of damage dealt to them. Like, say there's Sammy right here. Can I get a one-shot? No, I can't get a one-shot with him, but with the other people, yeah, you can get some really awesome gameplay using this weapon. So, yeah, I mean, I don't really have much else I need to say, like I said. Just to reiterate on what I've said before, yeah, the biggest problems are the travel time and the really slow firing rate, but I have a feeling if this weapon did have a much faster firing rate and a faster traveling time, you could probably consider this thing to be OP. But the way it's at right now, it's not. It's just a very solid thing, and look at it when somebody else is firing it at you. It just looks like an absolute beast of a weapon. It is very, very cool, and I love it. I absolutely love it. One of my favorite weapons of the special section as of right now, and if you do see me in matches off camera, you're probably going to end up seeing me using this weapon, at least in recent times, for the next couple of weeks after this video is being posted. So, yeah, with that being said, guys, I really hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you guys did, make sure to leave a like. It would help me out a lot. It would help the channel out a lot. And like I said at the beginning of the video, make sure to comment down below which weapon you want to see me review next, because whatever weapon gets the most amount of comments in the comment section to this video will be the weapon that we review next. I mean, I don't know. If you wanted anything specifically reviewed, then this is probably something that you want to do. Comment whatever weapon you want to see me review, and I can do that in my next video. It'll either be the Casa Nova, or the Nunchucks, or the Love Spell, or the Double Dragon, or the Romeo and Juliet, or other weapons like that. So I mean, just comment something from this update, because that's probably going to be the next thing I'm going to review, and that's pretty much it. So thank you all for watching. If this is the first video you are watching on my channel, make sure to subscribe. That's not proper English. Make sure to subscribe for some more Pixel Gun 3D videos, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So thank you all for watching, and laser bow versus laser spear. Who wins? The laser spear. And I will see you all in the next episode.